Hey, how y'all doing? This is your girl Sade, and I am a co-author of the book Tamar Stories. Before I get into my spiel, let me turn this AC down. I know it's kind of loud. Sorry, y'all. Before I get into my spiel, I want to thank West Coast Al. I'm sorry, y'all. That's what my minister called him. I want to thank him though for giving me the opportunity to come to his platform and to just bless y'all with with my story. But as I was saying, I am a co-author of the book Tamar Stories. The part of the book that I contribute was a chapter that was called The Aftermath. And it was just pretty much talking about the aftermath of my trauma. Like I stated in the book, I was molested at 13 by one of my family members' husband. And it has been quite a journey, y'all, because I must say, it was a time where I could not sit here and smile and have this conversation, yet alone like tell everybody. I have vowed to go to my grave with this. I was not going to tell anybody about it. I didn't want anybody to know, but God saw something else fit, and I guess I'm not going to say I guess he used my pain, and it wasn't something that he ordained. It was something that he allowed. But I was never upset with God. I want to put that out there. But I will say this, he used that for his glory and for me to bless other people, because the older I get, I realize that I'm not the only person who went through it. And for a while, I thought I was the only person that ever endured something like that. I know people endured stuff, but not like from a family member. I guess I was just like a real shallow, naive child for a while. But anyway, I just wanted to tap in and just tell y'all like some of the things that took place, like pretty much give you insight on what my chapter was about. It was pretty much explaining me processing me being molested by my husband, by my cousin's husband. And if I'm being honest, like at that age, it was so many emotions going through my mind. It was something that it was very difficult for me to like comprehend or even open my mouth and say to someone. I will say that I truly understand. I kind of understand why I had to go through it. As I began to learn my purpose in life, I realized that the women that God bring my way are women that are broken, women who struggle with insecurities, women who struggle with a lot of things that a lot of us go through that we're ashamed to come out and say. And the only way that I feel like I would be able to relate to that is if I was once that as well. So my trauma led me to an insecure woman, a woman who had low self-esteem, a woman who did not know her worth, a woman who allowed men to treat her any type of way. Even though I have brothers, before I get to that part, even though I have 4 brothers and a father who I am extremely close with. Remind you, no one knew this took place up until maybe 3 years ago. So during my whole like journey of life and me dealing with life, no one knew why I behaved the way I behaved sometimes. At one point in my life, I was real reckless. I still remember, like, after all of it took place, when I came back from Philly and I came home, I no longer want to wear, like, girl clothes because I was ashamed of my body. I felt like it gave me the wrong, like, attention. And then it didn't make it no better that older men down here were still trying to holler at young girls in high school. That was weird. I struggled with my sexuality. I wasn't sure if I wanted to be with a guy or if I wanted to be with a girl. And that's a spirit I had to fight. I wasn't in a relationship with a female, but I do remember having a crush on one. She didn't even know it. I had a full crush on her, and it wasn't because of something that she did. It was just her presence. I don't know what it was, but needless to say, I had to fight that spirit too. It's like, I don't think people understand that when they're doing things to children, the impact that it may have, which is why I named it The Aftermath, because the aftermath was a very emotional, draining, frustrating, and angry ride. I made a lot of careless mistakes because of my anger. Needless to say, I ended up getting pregnant at 18, having my son, which was the best thing that could have happened to me, because that's what slowed me down, believe it or not. But I still went through this process of hating men and wanting to hurt everybody, especially men, and went through a whole host of bad choices in choosing men. And I don't know what it was. I don't know what void I was trying to fill, if I'm being honest. I'm not going to sit here and lie and tell you that. I was searching for self. It was just, I guess I feel like I was cursed. I feel like I was cursed because nothing but negativity came my way, especially when it came to like people. I have trust issues because of it. I have gotten a lot better. But I say all of to say, the aftermath, what people don't think about, is the stuff that we really go through after the fact. The things that we don't talk about, the mental things that we don't discuss, the cries at night that we don't talk about. It's times where when I first had my son, I remember crying for like at least the first 6 months of his life, asking God to not ever let that happen to him, praying that no one will ever take advantage of him. Like, I remember like just being shook, just thinking about it and breaking down the tears and begging God to not allow that to happen to my baby, because I will hope that he didn't do what I did, not say anything. I never gave my parents an opportunity to help me. I never gave them an opportunity to, to like, to give me the help that I truly needed. But I will say that God was there the entire time, because I did not endure this pain alone. Me and my cousin endured this pain, and she endured way more than I did because she lived there. I was able to come back home. But the summer that I was at that endured, those 2 months of enduring that, and probably could have been a little bit longer. I don't even know if it was for one summer. I think it began to escalate, honestly, because little weird things would take place, and then it escalated to like you just trying to do the whole thing. Okay, now I'm gonna just go all the way in. This summer was the all the way in summer. This is what did the most damage, because I wasn't used to it. I wasn't exposed to that. And then in my mind, all I'm thinking about is all the things that would go wrong if I would say something. If anything, that's the guilt that I walked around with for the most part, not saying something. So now fast forward to today, it's out there. Of course, my cousin's hurt. Of course, she gonna deflect and say that we're lying, we're trying to destroy her marriage, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, I have no reason to lie about it. I'm just thankful that God allowed me to get through that. I'm thankful that he did not allow my mindset to get like worse than what it was, and that I turned out to be something else. I'm thankful that I did not allow that situation to like push me away from God. If anything, it doubled back to help me build a strong relationship with him, because a stronger relationship with him rather. Because the truth of the matter is, this is healing for me. It's easier for me to talk about it now because I have cried so much about it. I have went to God so much about it. He put the right people in my life to help me bring upon healing so that I can be free from this situation. So, and now that I get back to my assignment and my purpose, now that I'm beginning to understand my purpose and I understand the people he's bringing my way, I understand why I had to go through it. So I say all of that to say nothing in life that we go through is just for us to go through. We go through, it's not even about us, to be honest with you. It really isn't. It's not about us at all. This situation was above me spiritually, above my spiritual pay rate, as I would say. Above that. I don't have the capacity to comprehend what took place and why it took place. It took a while for God to like slowly for me to understand it better by and by. So I say all that to say, we're going to go through some things in life that we're not going to understand. That's going to be above our spiritual pay rate. But all we got to do is keep holding on to God's hand, keep trusting him, and allow him to show you why you went through it. You're going to realize that it was never about you. It was to bless someone else. Because I can't tell you how many people I have come across since I have came out and said what I need to say and wrote my story in the book that have revealed that they went through the same thing. And encourage me, because I ain't gonna lie, like I was terrified to come out and say, I ain't want my mama to find out from her family members, because my cousin already had said something. But that pushed me to just be real with her. I prayed and asked God for the opportunity to be honest with them, and he gave it to me. And I told her. And that's when my healing began to process. Something that I said I was gonna go to my grave with, God would not let me do it. He brought it back up surface again, full circle. We talking about what, 38, this happened when I was 13. We talking about 20-some years, it done resurfaced and brought up again. Something that I had to deal with in order to grow, in order to go to places that he needed me to go, in order to fulfill my purpose. So when I say I'm thankful today that I went through what I went through, in spite of what people may say, in spite of people not agreeing or believing me, it really don't matter, because at the end of the day, I have no reason to lie, and God knows the truth. I have nothing to gain by lying. but I have everything to gain to use what I went through by sharing with other people. Not only does it bless other people, but it helps me to heal. So I thank you for allowing me to come on your platform to share with people what I experienced, what I